Week of Good afternoon, everyone. This is what's happening on our planet as the grand solar minimum intensifies for the first week of June 2018. Something strange and unusual is beginning to happen in the atmosphere as this continuous sulfur dioxide emission from Hawaii is now drifting over to Asia. No abatement in sight. A look at some strange circular cloud patterns here off the Modis Aqua satellite. This has nothing to do with what you're seeing in the sulfur dioxide. But I bring it to your attention because in 535 AD, there was a series of eruptions, and when this sulfur dioxide pervaded the Earth's atmosphere, it changed plant life. The albedo from the clouds increased, decreasing yields, and then people became increasingly sick because they had difficulty breathing. Now, we're supposed to believe the experts that this sulfur dioxide is not a problem. Go back to work, don't even think about it. So I'm asking the question to you right now. Should we continue to believe these experts? Because let's take a look at their track record so far. They've told us everything's all based on carbon dioxide and increasing temperatures, but when we look at the actual oscillations in temperature, it's more like the sun drives our climate than CO2 does. White out here so you can see what I'm talking about. This temperature chart goes from 1880. You know, the global warmingists love to grab that 1979 to current data, which is over on the right side, so it shows the trend that they're looking for. You can disappear the Dust Bowl in the warmer than average temperatures in the 1930s. And you can also dismiss the cooling trend that went through World War II up into the 1960s. And what I mean even by that is there's now conjecture, even though there was a 13% increase in atmospheric CO2 from 1995 to 2015, this is what they call the pause. And all these global warming models that we've always heard of that dictate, 2, 3, 4 temperature degree rises Celsius by the end of the century. Well, the bottom blue is actually the observed where we are. And this is actually pretty correct because we're at 0.02 above baseline. And all the models running are putting it at 0.09, 1.2 C, even the higher temperatures at 1.5 C by 2025. They're not even anywhere close. Interactive map of the eruption in Kilauea. Now that sulfur dioxide is heading over to Micronesia. You might ask, where's Micronesia? West of Hawaii, about 3/4 of the way to Asia. You'll see right there, Yap, Ponape, Truk, Islands, and Kosrae. Taking a look at Nan Madol, a megalithic city in Micronesia, not widely talked about by historians. Supposedly it was built in 1180 AD. But when we look at the size of the megalithic blocks, at the structure of this thing, you have to ask yourself, how did even foundations get down to 213 feet in the water? Unless we go back when sea levels were lower, when they could construct something like this. Same level of area, 200 feet less water. And we're looking at Yonaguni as well in the same neighborhood. We really have to go back into the Holocene 8,000, 9,000 years ago to find lower sea levels where foundations like this could be constructed. I mean, look at the size of the stones inside this thing. This is not sea level rise that has inundated this city since 1180. If anything, sea levels have fallen since that time. But Japan, well known for using 200-300 ton megalithic blocks. Apparently the technology was given by the Jomon. And also staying in Micronesia, Yap, they have these giant stone money circles that they roll from family to family. Seems to be a push in the news lately about this geophysical research letter, Global Analysis of Climate Change Projection Effects on Atmospheric Rivers. I highlighted in the yellow there the percentages based on the models that they think these arc storms or atmospheric compression events are going to increase over today's rates. And as you look down the chart, you can see the very minimal that they're forecasting out is going to be 25 to 30%, as high as 300% or 3 times more rain and more ferocity from these events pushing forward. And it's almost unusual at the timing while this is making the news media rounds across the planet They're talking about massive superstorms, massive super floods, graphics showing you how these arc rivers, especially through California and West Coast US, but they're pervasive across the entire planet. And there is a ramp up in winds as well. And I just want to take you through the last 2 weeks of events of atmospheric rivers increasing along with global wind patterns that are far above the norm. Starting down here in the southern hemisphere, the largest wave ever recorded, massive 23.8 meter, 78-foot tall wave near Campbell Island, that is south of New Zealand, toward Antarctica. Looking at several episodes of massive flooding across Afghanistan, when we look at where the ancient archaeological sites are near all of these dry riverbeds, drought conditions, extending all the way to Turkmenistan. Ancient times, green and lush. This is what the cities supposedly look like that we have ruins now. There used to be rivers near these settlements, cities, and ruins. Now guess where all the floods are? Right next to these exact same spots again. Somalia, almost 1 million people displaced from the floods. Is the early Holocene left side refilling lakes? Chapter 2 coming on the way as we speak.